All right, everybody, we're back. So let's move right into writing powerful emails. All right, and this is going to be an awesome session. So let me actually do something real quick. All right, perfect. Oops, you got a sneak peek of something I want to show you later. Guys, before we can start talking about writing powerful emails, we've got to go over why you want to write powerful emails. There's actually two very, very important reasons. One of which is common sense, okay? Obviously, the better emails you write, the more you're going to earn. So today's session, when we talk about how to write powerful emails, I'm not just talking about how to write powerful emails for the purposes of promoting affiliate products. I mean, that is a big focus, right? So even if you don't have your own product, even if you don't want to do consulting, I shared with you earlier that this is one of the best ways why you learn copywriting is to be able to make money as an affiliate. So yes, of course, the better emails you write, the more you're going to earn as an affiliate. However, the other benefit really is one that most never think about. This is this secret benefit to writing better emails. And do you know what that is? It's called deliverability. Now you are going to be like, what is he talking about? So let's take a very brief time. I'm not going to take more than a few minutes to discuss this, okay? Deliverability means, okay, so let's say you've got a email list, okay? And this email list is 10,000 people. So here's you. And you worked very, very hard to build this list, and it's sitting inside of SendLane. Okay, so you use SendLane to automate everything and to make it all work. So you go to here, you type out an email, and you hit send. Now your expectation is boom, 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 boom. It goes out to all 10,000 at the same time. Now here is the problem: you assume that it receives 10,000 times. It does not. Guys, there are layers. So here's your subscriber. Okay, this is your subscriber. He sits here, and obviously we've got multiple subscribers, right? Well, between SendLane and you and SendLane, and between you and your subscriber here, people don't understand all the different processes that take place. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to erase some of this stuff, create some room. There's a whole nother world. I mean, it's literally like a different planet that exists. When you hit submit, your emails are sent first and foremost through our servers at SendLane, which right then and there might be problems and it'll catch you. But SendLane luckily is on your side, so it'll catch them. But as soon as they leave SendLane, now they're going to bounce through other servers. So for example, let's say this particular person is a Gmail account, like many are. Well, Gmail sits right here and says, I don't know. So it goes in here and it gets processed. Boop, 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 processed. And right here, Gmail is going to determine a few things. Either A, Gmail will say, yep, you're cool. We're going to send you right on into the primary box of your subscriber. Or Google will say, nope, sorry, spam. Based on many metrics they've got, such as the same email swipe has been sent too many times, such as certain keywords you used that they didn't like, such as anything, such as this person having told them before that you were spam. Or they'll say, okay, we'll send you in, but you're going to go in as a promotion because our various metrics tell us you're a promotion, okay? So guys, this can actually eliminate, depending on what service you use. So another key reason you use SendLane is because we are really good at making sure your emails actually reach the person that they're supposed to be going to. But we measure a lot. We keep very clean servers. Google, Yahoo, Bing, all these places that have emails, they love SendLane servers. But that doesn't mean you can't still screw up your particular reputation. It's very possible to still screw up your reputation, even if they love us. And so what I'm going to share with you today is going to help you stop that. But many times I have seen I've seen anywhere from 30% to 50%, or sometimes even more, emails that aren't even being delivered. So you might be sitting there wondering, God, I have a 10,000 list, Anik said I should be able to make about $1 a month per subscriber I have, at least 50 cents a month per subscriber. Why am I not making that? Well, check into your deliverability. Your emails may not even be reaching your prospects. So with what we're going to share with you today, you are going to be able to eliminate this, because one of the key things, there's 2 key things. Actually, there's really 3 key things, okay? That, let's just say, I'm going to pick on Google. What does Google look for when they have your email? There really are 3 very specific things that Google says, okay, we're going to watch for this. First of all, they look for unique. Google pioneered off of the fact that they started penalizing people who would just copy and paste content onto their website, right? Google came out and said, we're on to you. We know what you're doing, and we're not going to allow you to do that anymore. And so that was pretty important transition in the world of SEO. Well, guess what? Google now does the same thing with emails. They're actually applying a lot of the search engine optimization metrics to emails. So as an affiliate, if you go to a merchant's website, copy and paste their email and hit submit to it, guess what? Your emails are likely to go to spam, because Google has seen that email come through many times word for word. The other thing is that if you do too many of those, Google is eventually just going to say, you know what, this guy is nonsense. He is spam. And no matter, even in the future, you decide to make a change and start doing legitimate emails, they're going to continue to send your emails to spam. I know, it sucks, but it's the way it is. This is why, using what you learned today, you need to be writing your own emails. That's really important. The second thing that Google really watches for, and actually, guys, honestly, there's really 4. I just thought of the 4th one. Our open rate. Okay? Pure and simple. All right? You got a bunch of people. Okay, everyone has oval heads now. These are people, okay? These are people. People with oval heads. A bunch of people that are on your list. And Google can see, these all have Gmail accounts. So Google sits there and watches like Big Brother over these people. Now, here come you send an email, and Google says, okay, we've got a bunch of people on our service that use this guy. And all of a sudden, let's just say you have 1,000 subscribers on Google, okay? And only like 10 open the email. That means 990 do not open your email. Google looks at that and says, whoa, buddy, you're telling me that you can't even you got 1% of the people who you emailed to open your email? That means people do not like you. Our subscribers do not care about you. Guys, the open rate numbers need to be 10% or more. The higher these numbers are, the more Google loves you. The next thing that Google looks for is something called click rates. So what this means is, let's say now you've got, I'm going to say 10 people that open your email. Well, you've got a link in your email, correct? Well, if 3 people click that link, you have a 30% click-through rate. That's not bad. Google says, okay, but if all of a sudden now again, only 10%, one of the 10 people, now Google looks at that and says, okay, people like hearing from him, but he must be sending promotions because they don't seem to be responsive to his email. So let's put him in the promotions tab and let's reduce some of his exposure in people's main boxes. That's a problem for us. It can definitely lead to lower results for us, correct? I think you guys can understand and see how that works. So the 4th thing is what I call trigger words, okay? And we love words like free, right? Make money, and guaranteed, 100% guaranteed. There's all these kinds of words. I won't be able to get into all of them today because today my focus is on the copywriting side. This is not a deliverability workshop. As a matter of fact, SendLane will do a virtual weekend workshop in January at some point where we go through all the real... Guys, trust me, if you want to do email marketing, you got to be at that virtual workshop. But trigger words will basically tell Google it's spam. I mean, they don't care if it's the president sending the email. These trigger words are going to not make it through their spam filters. So today, what we're going to talk about is going to actually help you create, it's going to obviously help you create amazing, unique emails. It's going to help you have ridiculous open rates. It's going to help you have killer click-through rates. And And all three of those together will not only make you more money because you have more of your audience engaging with you, but they're also going to help you get higher deliverability. So if you can double your deliverability and you can double your response rate, the engagement from the list, you guys look at that. I mean, that's not a 100% increase in business. That's a 200% increase in business. So the things you're about to learn in the next about 15, 20 minutes here, we're talking about a 200% increase in your business, okay? All right, so that was that. Now, I talked about what open rates are. I talked about click-through rates. I know one question we're going to get a lot, so I'm just going to cover this right now, is what's a good open rate and what's a good click-through rate for when you write emails? Okay, guys, this always depends on the size of the list. So I'm going to go with the assumption that the email list is 10,000. However, if your email list is 100,000, these numbers do not qualify. The numbers are allowed to be decreasing. Look, at a 10,000 person email list, your 10% open rate is good, okay? 15% open rate is great. 20% or more open rate is amazing. You're doing great, okay? Now, the negative side, 5% is okay. I wouldn't want to stay there too long. Anything below 5%, problem. It's going to start to really hurt your business big time. Click-through rates. I have always tried to keep my click-through rates between 20% to 30%. That means of all the people opening my email, I want to make sure at least 20 to 30% are clicking through my link. Anything 30+% is amazing. It's really good, okay? And anything anything 10 or below is bad. I mean, honestly, that's bad. You've got to look at your emails. You've got to make them more enticing. You've got to get better click-through rates, okay? So that, I knew we were going to hit this, so I wanted to go through it right away. Now, let's continue talking about open rate and click-through rate. So when it comes to open rates, guys, there's only one major element that makes the impact there. Well, there's two elements, right? One of them is deliverability. Again, this deliverability haunts its way. This is why it's so important for you to choose a good autoresponder like SendLane, because not all are created equal. Trust me on that. But the second one that makes for open rates is subject line. Look, guys, when I send you an email, the only thing you're really seeing is the subject line. So if you choose to open it, it was mostly, if not only, because you liked the subject line. And if you choose not to open it, it is only because you did not like the subject line, or you never even saw the email. So we're gonna start by first, really talking about subject lines, and I'm gonna give you guys a couple of really cool tools and a few really cool techniques and tips, enough to kind of get you along the way. But then for those of you who are like, man, I really want to master this, remember, at the end of today, I will give you the opportunity to join our certification program. That's really limited. So now, click-through rates, I think it goes without saying, right? Deliverability impacts your click-through rate, because if they don't see the email, then they won't click anything. So here, a length of email will make a major impact on your click-through rate. The actual offer, the actual link, which we're going to talk about, will make a major impact on your click-through rate. And then the visual flow. This is huge. One of the biggest ways to increase your click-through rates is to work on your visual flow of the email. And within visual flow, there's a lot of different things that you can be doing. And as a matter of fact, give me a second here, guys. I'm going to make sure I mark that. So we're going to do a separate segment on, creating visual flow. And I just want to make sure that all the bullet points here that I've written can go into that. All right. Okay. So let's first, right now, let's just jump right to talking about subject lines. Okay? How to write killer, powerful subject lines. I will tell you something right now. This is the key to being a good copywriter. It's the same thing as writing and learning how to write powerful headlines. These headlines and subject lines determine the ability for a copywriter to be good, bad, great, or even legendary. So subject lines are 90% of the battle many times, and I have also seen that subject lines in an email are the area that I find myself having to really correct the most. Even when some of the top copywriters in the world send me their stuff, their headlines and subject lines are the first parts of things I attack. Now, I'm going to give you a source right off the bat where you can go today and start learning how to write killer subject lines, and it is weather.com. Weather.com. Guys, subject lines are supposed to be what? 6-7 words. And in that many words, you need to be able to create distinction. You need to be able to make people excited. You need to be able to get somebody to say, I want to open that. So I've always loved weather.com because they have a way of really catching my attention. Okay? So, for example, look at this. Ship makes the Titanic look like a dinghy. All right? Jarring land. Okay, so monster waves toss ship like a toy. So, of course, your list is probably not about the weather, but how do you convert something like this? So, monster waves toss ship like a toy. Let's say I was doing an internet marketing product, I could say, monster reviews toss product into the trash. I don't know. Obviously, I would want to be doing a good review, so, or I could say nasty reviews toss this product into the trash. It's called negative marketing. I don't like to do too much of it, but I mean, come on. Would you not open an email that I sent to you that said nasty reviews toss this product into the trash? Or how about raving reviews shook this marketer like a toy? I mean, I don't know. That's not a great headline. But guys, do you see where I'm going? Like, look at this one. Bananas facing extinction again. What if I sent you an email that said SCO facing extinction yet again? That's a great subject line. You'd be like, what? And then what I'll do is if you want to get away from the weather ones, go into any of these and click them. So like you could click one of these and some page like this shows up. Okay, so I clicked one that says, will this strong El Nino take away your white Christmas? And when you go here, scroll to the very bottom, and what they start to do is they start to give you these ads. These are ads promoted by Taboola. Okay, and I love these ads are written by brilliant genius marketers. And they're not about weather. So it's like Florida oranges in peril due to Asian bug. 11 foods you can't buy anywhere anymore. Okay, so like if I was to again be marketing, it'd say 11 traffic secrets that no longer exist. Oh my God, I actually want to write that one down. I'm going to send that out one of these days. Cable TV is dying. Here's what comes next. SEO is dying. Here's what comes next. Guys, you could just rip these. It's like, seriously, I could just hit refresh on this, and it'll probably give me a bunch of new ones. Let's see. Go to the bottom here again. There you go. I just got a bunch of new ones. I can sit there and keep refreshing them and get all 10 Harry Potter stars then and now. Whoa. Sorry. So I had saved this, to show you guys, but now I'm realizing that sometimes weather.com takes them out. So I had pulled up the page and just left it. But guys, this is some crazy stuff. Landslide in Myanmar kills about 100. 100 still missing. 7 credit cards you should not ignore if you have excellent credit. Oh God, guys, there are so many ways to twist and turn this stuff into amazing, subject lines. So let me bring over a couple of, let me do this, okay? Instead of doing it that way. So let's talk about a couple of rules with subject lines. First of all, guys, you've got to deliver a benefit, okay? Benefit. Stop. I hate it when people write these long, what's in it for me? Just get to the point, okay? Benefit. Number 2, you've got to create intrigue. This is why I'm so good at writing emails and getting such high open. My subject lines create intrigue. They make you want to open them because you feel like you've got to hear what's coming up next. Third, I love using things like brackets. So I'll put something like free tip in the bracket. Why? Because in your email, you're getting so many emails, right? The brackets visually break you up. They break up your flow and they just get your attention. Anything that is different in that email will draw your eyes to it, will increase open rates because everybody else is writing emails the same way, not in this case. So I would write free tips, SEO is dead. I don't know. Oops. Wow, I can't spell anymore, can I? Right? So free tips and SEO is dead. How about that? Okay, so guys, as you will see here, the things like this brackets. Now, don't overdo things like punctuations. Punctuations are very much a spam trigger. So limit to 3. So this is 1 and this is 2. This one, and then here I would end up doing 4 because I would add 2 dots. Never ever add 3 dots. This is a spam trigger, so only 2 dots at the end of it. I love ending with dots, by the way, because it visually makes someone think they gotta click it, because like it's what we're trained to do. I need more. The rest of it is there, so let me click over to it. All right, so with subject lines, create intrigue, keep them short, make them visually separated from everything else, and I would tell you right now to spend the next hour after we're done with this workshop and study weather.com. Best subject lines in the world. Also, learn to create a swipe file. Guys, learn to create a swipe file of all the, you get so many emails sent to you from marketers, guys. Capture them and put them to the side. Okay? Capture them and put them to the side. Trust me. You're going to be able to use them eventually in the future. So any email that really catches your attention, you want to put it to the side. All right? Okay, so, oops, what did I just do here? Let's see how much time I've got. I'm running out of time. All right, I don't want to spend more than 15 minutes on this section. I mean, I could honestly spend an eternity talking about this stuff, guys, so I don't want to do that, though. All righty. So now we've talked about subject lines. We were going to talk now about what I call length of emails. I actually don't need to really write here, so I'll just put length in the middle because you can just listen to this next part. Guys, there is no such thing as the perfect length to an email, but there are some rules you can follow that could help you based on what you're trying to do. The shorter the email, the more the clicks you're going to get. Now, you might think, well, Anik, there you go. You answered my question. I want more clicks. That means I'm going to write shorter emails. Well, yes and no. So here's the thing, right? The shorter the email, the more clicks maybe, but those are less qualified clicks. I've actually been able to send longer emails and get less clicks, but make a lot more money. In the end, we're concerned about making more money. See, Google does watch your click-through rates, but not as that closely. So if you get a 10% versus a 15% versus a 20%, I don't, unless you're always getting 10% and below, then it's like Google starts to say, all right, but I want you to learn to mix up your emails as it is anyway. So sometimes you send out short ones, sometimes you send out long ones. It all gets kind of merged into one. So eventually your click rates are higher. Open rates are really important. Open rates are where really Google stares and spends a lot of time. So with click rates, balance it out. Sometimes I like sending longer emails because it allows me to validate the person more. It allows me to put the right frame of mind in their mind. So especially if I'm sending a promotion for a product that's going to be a higher ticket, more expensive product, you bet your butt I'm going to write a longer email. I'm going to use story method. I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to entrance them. I'm going to put a hypnosis on them to become a part of my process. But the longer emails I write, I've sometimes been able to nail some amazing emails. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes I write a story that's just really perfect. It just nailed it. It was engaging. It got their attention. And I'll end up seeing that I end up getting the same click-through rate that I would have gotten on a short email. Man, that's an amazing situation, because in that situation, I've actually been able to make a lot more money. Right? Same clicks, but much, much more qualified. That's rare. It doesn't always happen. So I'm happy to and willing to take less clicks many times. But one key takeaway, guys, is you can have short emails that are just a couple of paragraphs with a link. You can have long emails that could be like 10, 15 paragraphs with a link. You can also have medium emails that could be 5, 6 paragraphs or sentences or whatever with a link. The point is, mix them up. Don't ever always do the same thing. Okay, don't ever do that. Mix them up. It's going to serve you really well in the long term to mix these things up. So sometimes do short, sometimes do medium, sometimes do long. All right. Now, let me jump right ahead, and we are going to talk about the greatest thing that influences your clicks. In addition to length, is the visual appeal of an email. And I'll actually probably pull one up and look at it. There's 4 parts to a visual appeal for an email. One is the control you have using bold and italics and underline. And actually, even you have tons of other control too. I don't like to get into colors and highlights and all that. You also have what we call bullet points. Okay, and I'm going to put bullet points slash length of sentences. Okay. Number 3, images. We'll talk about images. I'll just tell you right now, I don't like them. Okay, for information marketers, screw images. Please, seriously, just leave them. They really help. I don't know. You know, I think the day is still out because what I'm seeing with images is, yes, absolutely, it can help you increase your, people love images, right? So, but I'm noticing that putting images in your emails is actually making Google want to send them to promotions tab. It's just because Google's used to e-commerce. See, let's face it. If I were to send you a personal email one-on-one, I would rarely send you an image. I mean, it's rare, right? I usually type something and I send you an email. But typically we send, e-commerce companies send out a lot of emails, which are usually promotions, right? And they have images all over it. So Google has learned that images typically means promotions. So I try to stay away from images, but they can certainly help break up the visual flow of an email and then create attractive links, okay? And I'll show you exactly what I mean here. So I always write my emails first in what I call TextPad. Both Mac and PC have a text tool. So again, bold, italics, underlining, the length of the sentences, the visual flow, how we use bullet points for that, imagery, and attractive links. So let's just go find one. All right, put this away here. I had pulled this one aside for you. Okay, I just pulled out one that we had sent. You probably got this email from me too, just days ago. Okay, and it's almost done, but it's not fully done. So now we're gonna rip it apart. Honestly, should have been improved before it was sent, but we sent it anyways. Okay, so look at the subject line, free video, right there, brackets, as I told you, #1 marketing skill. Now I've used a little bit too much punctuation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, I've used 5 now. You said, Anik, why'd you break your own rule? Guys, I have such great credibility with Google and with all incoming servers at the moment after having sent millions of emails. I'm telling you, just in the last 4 or 5 months, I've probably sent about 100 million emails. I'm not kidding, guys. My database is huge. Every time we hit send, we're typically sending out 600,000 to 700,000 emails. So I actually know this for a fact. Sendlane told me that when we were launching Publish Academy, within the span of about 35 days, we had sent 30 million emails. So I can easily say within the last 4 or 5 months, I have sent 100 million emails. When that happens, Google is watching what the heck I'm doing, and they see that people like my email, so that gives me more flexibility to be able to do more punctuations and all that. So right here it says, I made a short 3-minute video, trust me, you want to watch it. Now look at the flow. Remember I taught you about the auditory visual flow. Auditory goes da 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 da, right? Then I use bullet points. I break it down into easy, because people's brains think linear. People read linear. You know what I could have done? Here's what I could have done. Look at this, okay? And you tell me if it looks good. And you'd be surprised how many people send out emails that look like this. Tell me right now, which email would you click? This one? Or I mean, I can keep playing with this. Right, probably what I'll do is this. Boom. Look at that. All right, look at the visual, guys. Yes, you would totally do this one. You would totally do this one. All right, I don't have any images. Now, what I would do is I'd go bold things. I might even make the 3-minute video underlined to break up the visual side, and also because, I want people to click it. Then I might bold the #1 skill. I might bold free. Remember, free, you can't overuse it. I probably used it once, maybe max twice, but once. Again, I can get away with using free a little bit more because of the fact that I have great reputation with them, but free is a tricky word to be using. All right, I sell over $100 million products online. I probably underlined that. Look at that. Now somebody can get onto this email, skim it, and immediately know what they want, and they've had 4 opportunities in that email alone to click my link. So if you talk about the visual appeal of a link, guys, check it out. I don't just put the actual link and ask people to click it. I take text that is enticing and then link that. So what are you waiting for? Go watch my new video, save your seat, leave a comment, and win a prize. Okay, go watch it. 3-minute video. So I take key texts in the actual email and link those. So I make my links more attractive by doing that. All right? So I'll tell you right now, when it comes to emails, I've worked with so many copywriters, so I'm going to give you the basic last piece of advice and tip. And I think that for those of you who want to be able to take one tip away from this workshop and be able to instantly monetize it and make money from it, it's this one. Even if your writing is not perfect, if you could do these 2 things in an email, your emails will drastically improve. One is to create rhythm in the reading. Short sentences. Always short sentences. This sentence is almost too long. It's borderlining right now, okay? I give away the #1 skill any entrepreneur. This is borderline, just getting there. If I could have taken out 2 words, it would have really helped. But if you can create short, punchy sentences and visually break up the email. So right here, short sentence, a little bit longer sentence, clumped up bullet points, short sentence, longer sentence, actually 2 or 3 sentences, but longer. So visually, it's short, medium, long, short, medium, long, medium, short, long, medium. Do you see, guys? It's breaking it up. This is really easy on the eyes to be able to read this. Eyes understand this stuff way, 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 way better than if you clump it up. And I showed you the example when I clumped it up together. I think you could tell that it was a problem, right? So visual rhythm, audio rhythm, shorter sentences, and of course, big part of copywriting is using, great comparisons and things like that. Things I don't do in my email. So for example, people will say, oh, a good copywriter would have said, the #1 skill an entrepreneur needs, to set their business on fire. And I disagree. Again, if I go back to my mentor who taught me copywriting, another advice he gave me was, Anik, a great copywriter uses the minimum, the least amount of pronouns ever, or adverbs. And I thought, I thought good copywriting is all about drawing these crazy analogies, right? Where it's like, and I recently saw something and it was like, light your business on fire like an inferno, like a forest fire or something. Because again, that copywriter is like, oh, let me give him a visual. Well, guys, I'll tell you, I don't do that in my emails. I might do a little bit of that in my VSLs, but in my emails, I'm like, let's just be honest. Let's be straightforward with people. I create excitement. You got to tell me this doesn't create excitement. I talk about the shortness of it. I use numbers and specifics. I use the word free. I'm giving away something. I talk about big numbers that are exciting, $100 million. I use bolding and underlining to create visual break. I talk about short video. Everything about this is enticing. It's exciting, but it's to the point, and it's building a relationship. This is not me jumping up and down and being hypey. This is me being me, which is what you probably are gonna love about this particular email and why you will want to click it and trust in it. So you don't need to be a fancy writer. I always tell, I was teaching someone how to write copy, and I said, you just don't need to be fancy. Eliminate the fancy. Get to the point where you have short rhythm, audio and video rhythm to it, and visually appealing. That alone will make you a better copywriter than almost all professionally trained copywriters out there. Then the last piece of it is learning how to talk in a way that's enticing, which is what I've done here. Even this, #1 marketing skill plus win $100. It's just, I really sat and I thought about it. By the way, I spend twice the amount of time thinking about my subject line that I do writing the entire email. That's how important the subject line is. Okay? So guys, that has been our short session here about how to write powerful emails. I've been saving time so I can really dive in next into our 5-step formula for writing VSLs and webinars. Let me tell you guys something right now. This next part coming up, this is the real stuff. This is the mean stuff. This is the stuff that you've never seen before. And I'm actually going to show you stuff. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to first give you the formula. Then I'm actually going to dive in and show you how I've employed the formula into my stuff. You're going to love it, guys. It's seriously, get ready. This is going to be the part where you really take crazy notes. And then don't forget, after this session, we will be doing my special presentation where I talk to you about some really neat things, new opportunities coming up in the world of copywriting. All right. So let's take a 5-minute break again. Real quick. I'm going to actually grab a quick bite, maybe a couple of chips or something. All right. So we'll be right back, guys. 5 minutes and we'll be back and we'll dive right into how to create amazing VSLs and webinars. All right. See you guys in 5 minutes.